Just get a little more detailed with this. I mean, so I think men lead, right? We lead, and I know that you were kind of saying that it's not our fault that we're being simps or whatever because of how women treat us, right? I'm kind of like, if men just, for instance, I believe that we should only be having sex with one woman, right? What do you believe? Yeah.
I would tell you that's a strategy that would have worked 70 years ago, but it's not going to work anymore.
Why?
There's a multitude of reasons why. Well, tell me, how about this? Tell me why you think I should do that, and then I can go from there, because I'll meet you where you're at. So why do you think I should do that?
So, like, I mean, if we're, being patient, not, going into our flesh, trying to have sex with every woman that, looks pretty, women wouldn't have, the ability to get what they want, right?
Are you approaching this from like a religious angle?
A little bit religious, yeah, but also like if you be logical, like if you're not,
so let's go with the logical then. If you're not approaching this from a religious standpoint,
we can go
so
logical.
From a logical standpoint, the reason why that strategy isn't going to work is because women don't respect men that can't get laid. Now, this is a very ugly truth that women will never admit publicly, but the reality is that women don't respect men that can't fuck other girls. And the reason for that, I'll explain. So the way women are attracted to men versus how men are attracted to women is completely fundamentally different.
Yeah.
Women want a guy that has other women. We want a girl that doesn't have other men. And women need to be with a guy that they can see with their own two eyes as social proof. So you might not necessarily have to go out there and actually fuck other women, but you need to be able to present the ability to do so if she doesn't do what she's supposed to do as your girl. Does that make sense? Because, and this is why I said we need to bring back slut shaming. This dovetails perfectly into my point. The industry that we had around women before to curb their promiscuity is gone. Religion, social shame, the church, the mosque, whatever it may be, all these social institutions have broken down. So what's left? Well, women can do whatever they want. And since they can do whatever they want, they get the guys that they want. And a lot of times the guys that they want might not be the best guy for them long term. Does that make sense?
Makes a little bit of sense, but if we could control ourselves and just not give in, I mean, the women aren't going to be able to have the power over us.
Most men don't operate from that position. Most guys,
but that's our fault. That's our fault.
Like, of course. But what I'm saying is that, being realistic here, most men aren't monogamous by choice. Sorry, they're not celibate by choice. Most guys are celibate involuntarily. That's why they call them incels. Literally, the term incel is based on most guys' inability.
But do you feel like also, do you think this makes men happier having sex with women?
What was that?
Do you think men are happier having a bunch of sex with women? Do you think men are happier having sex with a bunch of women?
Yeah. I think if a guy can actually accomplish his sexual strategy, which is he has side chicks and a main girl or two, I think that is what most guys would dream for, but most guys can't pull it off. And I'll give you an example of this. So my good friend Andrew Tate, right? One of the reasons he blew up and went so viral is because he lives a lifestyle that most men want to emulate. A bunch of women, fast cars, millions of dollars, etc. So he didn't blow up for no reason, right? Obviously, he's charismatic and stuff too, but he's living a lifestyle that many men want, and he's honest about it, right? Most guys want that lifestyle, they just can't be honest about it. So I think his success is testament to men's true desires if they had the ability to do so.
Okay. So I've about 5 years ago, I was living that life myself.
What?
And I was completely depressed. And then I've obviously changed my life the past 5 years. Obviously, I don't go around having sex with women. I'm way happier. I treat women with respect. So I just
but you made the choice, right?
I made the choice.
Okay,
yes.
That's key. That is the fundamental, because you're in a position where you made that choice and you're at peace. Fine, I'm all good with that. But for most men, they don't make that choice, man.
Yeah, but
they don't make that choice.
Yeah, but the men who can get whatever they want, if we could not go into our flesh and be like, hey, I'm going to set a good example for the rest of the men, women. It would help society a lot. Like, people, do you not think that you're hurting society by having sex with a bunch of women?
Well, the thing is that society's already cooked. So the way I look at it is, at this point, you need to have the sexual experience to be able to identify the women that are worthy. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because since so many girls are hooking up casually and doing all this 304 shit, if you don't get your feet wet and be able to identify these women, what's going to happen is your sexual inexperience will put you in a position where you're dealing with a girl that you don't know is a hoe, and then she ruins your life later.
Yeah, but like, for instance, I go to the club. I go to Sugar, right? I go to Sugar. I go in the club. I pick
Like
up
right now.
I pick up some women,
Yeah.
and I get the status, having a good night. My next move isn't, oh, I'm going to take them home, right? Like, you can stop there. You can get all the status you want and stop there, and then have respect for yourself, have respect for the woman, and be like, hey, I'm not going to take you home and have sex with you.
So are you familiar? So I actually talk about this. I don't know if you're familiar with my content, but I tell guys get a late count of at least 50, so you get out your system. What you're referring to is getting it out of your system.
I did a lot.
That's
back
fine.
in the day. Yeah.
But see, you're able to get to that position through experience, and now you have the mental clarity. Most men don't get that benefit. Does that make sense?
It does.
Sometimes you need to experience something to realize that it ain't worth the fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to comprehend how it's gonna make things better. I guess. Like, it just doesn't sound like that's
It's the new
solution.
normal. It's the new normal. It's literally the new normal now. So like guys have to kind of acclimate to what's going on. It's empty anyway. You can just throw it out. Guys got to deal with what is versus what should at this point, right? So that like when I dispense the advice I'm giving, I understand that it's not 100% spot on, but based on the current environment that we're in the dating marketplace, this is the best way that men need to move with the way women move now. I wish it was 1955 and we can go back to, the traditional situation, but most women aren't traditional. So therefore you gotta move differently. And she's got to earn that tradition from you now.
I see your point. I see where you're coming from. But do you not think if we, all guys like you, people who, that can get girls whenever they want, right? Just say, hey, we're not going to have sex anymore. I'm going to still have status in clubs and whatnot. I'm going to hang out with girls all the time. But I'm going to cut the line off of being like, hey, I'm not having sex with you because like you have to deserve it.
But that comes after experience. That comes after you realize that most women, are useless outside of sex. Like that comes after experience.
I guess I just disagree, but appreciate it.
All right, no worries, brother.
Yeah.
How could you blame?
Yeah, you gotta talk into the mic.
Sorry. So how could you blame women for being? I feel like men created that. No.
All right, say that again.
I
Sorry.
was just saying, I feel like men created behavior. No. So how could you blame women for that? Shouldn't it be the men's responsibility?
Well, the thing with men is men simply adapt to the new sexual marketplace. Men adapt because since we're the ones that are pursuing the women are the ones that have changed significantly. Men haven't really changed that much. It's the women that have changed mostly through feminism and progressivism. So men have basically adjusted their sexual strategy to accommodate and or be able to get sexual access with women. So that's why guys have kind of switched their strategy up. So I see what you mean. Like, hey, aren't we enabling it? Yes, to a degree. But at the end of the day, it's feminism and the revolution that's kind of brought us here. And then men assimilated to that to get laid. And what they don't know is that feminism actually benefits a small percentage of men the most, right? It benefits a large majority of women, but it also puts them in a weaker position when it comes to getting a relationship. And it gives all the leverage to the top 1 or 2% of guys because all the women are chasing that small percentage of men because now they're all entitled and feel like they deserve it because they make more money, they go to college, they're educated, all this crap. Oh, I deserve the best guy. Like the average woman is delusional, if I'm going to be honest. They don't deserve the guy that they want.
Yeah, no, I see that. But just thinking about regardless of sex, I feel like every action they have is to benefit themselves, and I feel like women, people will pay money to see women's OnlyFans, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a
if
problem.
I was a girl, I do OnlyFans, I can make a ton of money.
Yep. No, you're right. And I said that before. Like we have all these positive reinforcements to really bad female behavior, and there's no incentive to be virtuous and chaste and find a guy when they're at their peak age. It's more about just being a 304 and monetizing it as much as they can. But here's the problem: a lot of them don't have the wherewithal to understand that there's going to be consequences at the end of that. A lot of them think, oh yeah, I'm just going to be myself and do what I want, then find a man later. Nah, they're cooked.
Yeah,
and I think if more women understood that they're going to literally be cooked, they might think twice about doing the dumb shit that they do. But it's because we have this entire simp economy where we tell women they can do whatever they want to do with zero consequence that they behave the way that they do, right? Girls say stupid shit like, oh, well, there's someone out there for me. No, no, there's not. You want a guy making $100,000, $200,000 per year? He's going to want something in return a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where the disconnect is. Like, they think no matter how deplorable my behavior, I still deserve a top 1% guy. And that right there is like the main reason why we have such a disconnect in the dating marketplace. Women's standards are too damn high, and men don't vet women properly. And that's why we have this, asymmetrical, fucked up dating marketplace.
Yeah, I see what you mean. All right. Thank you.